Welcome to the second episode of the VC project where we tackle the dining room. Here's a before photo of what the dining room looked like. I love how it's super spacious, but I feel like it needs a little bit of personality. Before we get to all the fun stuff, there's obviously a lot of prep work to do, including scraping off these popcorn ceilings. Before scraping, I did a 3-to-1 warm water and vinegar spritz on the ceiling just to soften it out. I am super indecisive, so I had a whole bunch of paint cards up on the wall. Once I narrowed it down to 4 colors, I wanted to get them up on the wall as soon as possible. The dining room looked like this for 2 months while I decided what design direction I wanted to go in. There were so many amazing rooms online, but this one from Lake and Lumber stole my heart. With that inspiration in mind, I found the perfect paint color, Stormchaser by Magnolia Homes. I love that chandelier, but I have to be practical, so I went with a black contemporary looking fan. Those chairs are absolutely gorgeous, but way out of my budget, but I think I found a way to get those chairs at half the price. I already had a light colored table, which was one of my favorite marketplace finds. And then to finish it off, maybe a stoneware vase, and then possibly a rug. The house had texture walls, which I wanted to get rid of for the accent wall. So our first attempt at getting rid of them was sanding it, which didn't work. So then David had suggested using drywall compound. David finished flattening out the walls. They look really nice. And then I primed them yesterday. Even though I really want to finish this accent wall here, I have to paint the ceilings. So I'm going to paint the ceilings. We have things kind of covered up and we're going to tarp some more so we don't get paint on the parquet floors. I was so happy when I finally got to add color to the walls. So right here I'm trimming, and then once I'm done trimming, I'm going to go ahead and paint the rest of the wall in Stormchaser. Close to having the bare bone basics done. However, we need to fix the fan right there because it wasn't put on properly the first time. I had Lowe's color match Stormchaser with Valspar's signature line, and this required 2 coats of paint. Remember those chairs that I loved? Well, they were way out of my budget, so I decided to DIY them. Got these red oak chairs from OfferUp, and after cleaning them and letting them sit in the sun, I needed to get rid of some of the extra curves. He used a Sawzall to take the top curve off. And while he was doing that, I was using a handsaw to take off the knobs. I used wood putty in any of the parts that accidentally got scuffed and then sanded all of the edges. After scuffing all of the chairs with sandpaper, I added a coat of Bin shellac primer. Make sure that when you use this stuff that you're in a well-ventilated area. It does have a strong odor, and as you can see, I'm using a chip brush because this will definitely muck up your brush. After several coats of the caviar black paint on the chairs, they're pretty much fully painted. I'm at the point where I'm putting some Minwax polyacrylic top coat on it just to protect it. I'm doing 1 coat and then I'm gonna lightly sand the chairs with a 220 grit sandpaper and then go in with a second layer of polyacrylic. And once I do that and let them dry, they should be completely protected and done. So we finally made it to the semi-finished line. D was super helpful and he cleaned up the dust and everything and pushed all the furniture back. So I have the chairs, which are 95% done and usable. I just have to put the little pads on the bottom so they don't scratch up the parquet flooring. but that wall looks really, really nice against the black of the fan and the black chairs. And then I have the IKEA table right here and the benches in the front. There is an extra chair, but I don't want to put the extra chair on there. I want to make use of the benches because my goal was to get rid of the galvanized metal industrial farm looking chairs. Even though those came with the table and they look nice, they weren't exactly the look I'm going for, but I really like how the black chairs pop against the Stormchaser blue. It is super cold this morning and I feel like the house is and will always be a mess until I'm officially done with it, including the flooring. So that's not going to change until the flooring is finished. But we have this back here, the credenza area figured out, and it's the first thing that you see when you walk into the house. And then we have the dreaded boards that I have to do. I'm going to force myself to do them today. I just have to sand them down and then prime them and then probably paint them over the weekend. After sanding with 80 and then 220 grit sandpaper, I went ahead and I put some plastic wood on the parts that had the big knots or the cracks in it, let it dry. I sanded it and then I brought the wood into the garage. I'm gonna go ahead and use a Zinsser to prime this and then move these over, do the other boards, and then tomorrow I'm hoping to paint them. I'm pretty much at the point where a majority of my planks here are painted and I'm just doing a really quick dry fit to see what they look like. The plan is to have a plank against each of the walls and then to also not have something covering this outlet right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that outlet right there. And I'm thinking that I'll probably change it to black, but we'll see what it looks like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick dry fit and then go back and work on my planks. There are a lot of tiny mistakes on the planks. If you look at them individually, you'll see some drips. Once they're on the wall, I'm gonna probably sand out the drips and repaint it. But in the meantime, due to a lack of space, I'm gonna put them up on the wall and see what they look like. With the help of Excel, Dee helped me figure out the math to ensure that the spacing was correct. I use 1x3 and 1x1 boards. We attach the boards to the wall with brad nails. The baseboards were a 1x4 that I painted, and then Dee used a multi-tool to chop off the bottom of the vertical boards. Good morning. So it's a new day. This project is taking me several days to do, and I don't know at this point how many outfits you guys have seen, but this project is being done after work and on weekends. So I'm hoping that this is the final weekend for this project. Yesterday, the baseboard was cut, and then I still have to do the top board of it too, just to make it look more finished off. Dee did actually go in and he cut all of the tops and the bottom tops so it would fit the baseboard and the finishing board on the top. So I have to go in and fill in some of the cuts that he made because some of it went into the wall with some spackling. And then I also dented the wall too because I was moving the boards. So I have to repaint some parts of the wall. The boards aren't completely painted too, so I have to go in and fill those white spots. I also plan on caulking and then painting the caulking too to make it look more finished. So I'm hoping between today and tomorrow that this project is completely done so I can get my dining room back. So this right here is a beveled cut, and it's not really clear because all of the dust, but this right here was made by doing a 30-degree angle on the saw, and it's supposed to hide the seams better. So the plan is once I'm done cleaning, and these aren't nailed in yet, but once I'm done cleaning this, I'm gonna be wiping everything down, filling in the little cuts, like there's a little cut right there, and then painting everything, and then hopefully stapling it down. But I have to clean up and get rid of all this sawdust first. So that didn't actually happen. I ended up making cookies while David worked on the wall.
Silver dollars and champagne for the trouble. It's a t-shirt in the backseat.
D hates anything cake or frosting related, but he can never turn down a good old-fashioned M&M cookie.
Stick around when the walls start to fall. Good God, is anybody?
After the much-deserved cookie break, he went in and filled in all the brad nail holes with spackling.
I know we've had a few too many. I'm not sure what to believe. Beauty queens and rock and rollers.
We also sanded any rough spots to prep for priming and then the final painting.
Nice to know you. Better have listened to all that they told you.
Paintable caulk was added to give the board and batten a seamless look. I went in and primed all the spots that we spackled to prevent any flashing, and then put on the final coat of Stormchaser.
Don't you know what this all means? Beauty queens and rock and rollers, crystal glasses, Coca-Cola. Nice to meet you, nice to know you.
Another piece that I wanted for this space was a stoneware vase. You can watch how I made this by clicking the card above or in the link below. As you can see, the baking soda and paint gave the vase another amazing layer of texture. I decided to use 3 faux floral picks for the vase, all from Michael's, and they were 40% off, so the arrangement itself cost me around $7. The vase was deep and the stems were short, so I used a little bit of newspaper to elevate the stems.
Silver dollars and champagne for the trouble. It's a t-shirt in the backseat of your car. Head down just like your father taught you. Stick around when the walls start to fall. Good God, has anybody notice you? Sat at the table and you listened to her scream. I know we've had a few too many. I'm not sure what to believe. Beauty queens and rock and rollers.
Thank you so much for hanging in there to see the end of this project. If you want to see other episodes of the VC project, make sure that you subscribe. I am just tidying up for the final reveal.
All that they told you. They took notes and put you on a pedestal. I'm Simon, I'm on my knees. Why are you so quiet, darling?
I am so excited that we are finally here. Let's take a look at what this looked like before.
Queens and rock and rollers, crystal.
I am so happy about how everything turned out. I can't stop admiring that beautiful Stormchaser board and batten wall and how it plays off of those beautiful parquet floors. If you missed the first episode of the VC project, it will be linked in the card above and below. Stay tuned for the third episode as we turn our 1980s builder grade house into our home.
Find the diamonds in your eyes, darling. Another glass of wine, you know it's time. 3, 2, 1. We're counting shooting stars on the side of my bed, and now your lips tattooed on the side of my neck. Another glass won't kill you, right?